Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's Brendan Borman here for another 270 live stream. Today I will be playing for the first time as Ronald Reagan. So, looking forward to trying a new character. Up, Nancy Pelosi. Let's bring it on if we can get in the game. Awesome. Awesome. So Lane Cobberly, I do not know that name, but good luck. Again, I'm playing under my wife's Steam account. This is Brendan Borman playing as Ronald Reagan for the very first time. Alrighty, so for those of you who are new to the game, first one to 270 electoral votes. When there is a ballot, that person becomes president and wins. We've got 3-minute timers here. And I know what I'm doing the first move. I looked at Ronald Reagan a little bit before the game started, and I'm going to try someone who has some big national bonuses. So with his big conservative and his evangelical, he also has swing states, which I really like. And as a Republican, he has a 10% high tech bonus, similarly to Donald Trump. So looking at Nancy Pelosi, just to kind of see what we're up against, she does have some similar, smaller state bonuses, 10 and 15%. She does have a 20% women's, 25% labor and environment national groups bonus. She's really not all that negatively affected in swing states or Old South or some of those. So she could go like in the Old South and get African American, like some Democratic candidates do. But this first turn will be telling. I'm going to signal that my first 2 turns are going to be national groups, and that should give her the go-ahead to not save money the second turn if she does save money the first turn. So it looks like she did go into Michigan. She did go into labor and environment, so we both will get that big bonus the rest of the game. I am gonna one up and go into evangelicals. This is not something I normally do, but because she also invested into labor and environment, I want to try to have the money advantage if possible. And by going into Michigan, she's signaling that she's either going to go high tech or African American. She did have an export bonus as well. That's kind of one you don't really go after kind of until the later stages of the game. And Michigan is a really key state for a Democratic candidate. Looks like she might have just doubled up and did the exact same thing, a second one in Michigan. It's exactly what she's done. Okay, so we have a brand new ball game here. So if I were her, I would consider New York. It's also California if she goes to high tech. I don't want to overcommit or anything, so I'm just going to go ahead and take my second bonus and just kind of get a landscape of what she's trying to do here. So she's doing the same thing I'm doing. She's getting the women's vote and the youth vote. So she actually won't get that for both of those on the next turn, which means she's spending even more money, and I'm getting that bonus. Plus, I have more money. So let's take a look here. Again, not really super powerful anywhere, but pretty overall balanced candidate. I do have that high tech bonus, and I do also have town and gown. That's interesting. It's only 5%, but to throw her off her game, I am going to spend as if I was going into both Utah, Massachusetts and New York. Kind of blocks her pathway for high-tech bonus. Possibly, I mean, it sets me up for town and gown. Okay, looks like she did not spend anywhere, and that's significant. She is going in, looks like high tech, so I have to be on the lookout for California. But if I can beat her to several of these states. Okay, so I got to think here. So 45, 22, 35. I look at the high tech. Okay, so I'm in every single high-tech state that she's not in, exception of California. Um, I don't believe 60. Yeah, she cannot get enough with just California. So if I'm able to get all the states that I'm in, plus I'll have my town and gown. Okay, so she's going into Florida. So it looks like her main goal is African American. If she goes into something like a Wisconsin or a Pennsylvania, looks like she could be going for swing states. Pretty cool, close on the electoral side. Let me just go ahead and use that money first. I'm going to throw one in here just for defend her an African American, and here for swing states. Actually, I'll just throw that in there as well. The rest of my money I should use to get the high-tech bonus. And then I really want to pressure her in a state like Virginia. Um, and then I might be able to backdoor swing states in a couple turns, depending on what she does. I'm gonna leave a little bit of money, um, just so I have some flexibility. So it definitely looks like that African American is her primary objective, and that's okay. It's a strong bonus, but it's not that powerful. And Florida's going to be hard for her to hang on to. She might overspend in Virginia here in a second. So can I have the high-tech bonus? She is very likely to defend in Virginia, but finish off some of these other states. I'm going to go ahead and use my town and gown. And I think I like securing swing states me see what that does for me money-wise. Put some pressure on her in Michigan, which I probably could go in New York. I don't foresee her really doing that. I don't know his manufacturing. Does he have a... He does not have a positive or a negative. Let's go 2 in Florida. Let's scare her a little bit. Interesting. She is overspending in some states. Probably thinking that preemptively I will strike, like I was not going to in Virginia, but as most people do, Nancy Pelosi closes off Virginia. So there is the African American bonus. She does also get the Old South. I also get swing states. And I expect her to significantly cover her butt in Florida. Now, is there anything I want to do to possibly pressure her? She very likely could cover Michigan and Florida. Now, I can go 4 in Florida. She would have to go 4 to defend. I do have the electoral advantage at the moment. What is his Latino? He's a small negative. Thinking about just going into California. A little bit of pressuring. Not much. Again, pretty equal playing field right now. I do have a little bit more bonuses. She has to do a lot of defending here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, she would have held Florida regardless. But now I have a pretty significant money advantage at 1.12 million. She is only in 8 states, so definitely not maximizing her efficiency here, but it's tough to do when someone's pressuring like I am. Go ahead and go into Texas. Again, she plays defense in Michigan. Some more defense in North Carolina. And I just attack and take Texas. So obviously Lane is pretty scared. She is still not in a single state that I am in, so I'm not going to worry about even messing with too much of this. I will throw in an Illinois. Actually, let's do 2 in Illinois. We are on turn 10. I would expect a ballot with the states that have been filled. We have 28 with the Carolinas, 38 plus 6, 44 total that have been closed off. So we are 44% done with this game, plus the states being occupied. About half of them don't have any money spent invested yet. So this has been a relatively easy game so far. Haven't had to deal with any pressure whatsoever. Obviously, if you are watching this stream, you want to do the same thing that I am doing. You want to pressure, but not every time it works. Sometimes they'll pressure your states, and you have to make a decision. What are the core states? Obviously, Nancy Pelosi came in with the mindset that I have to get African American, and she went guns a-blazing, even though I took New York, which is the largest African American state at $150. Again, the bonuses are tracked via the money and not via the electoral college. Florida and New York are both 29 electoral votes, but it does help a little bit better to have Florida. So after this turn, I'll have Latino. After this turn, I will have agriculture. I'll have oil. I think I should have export as well. So definitely going to be a very good turn for me bonus-wise, and with the clock ticking down and Nancy Pelosi not making a move yet, it actually might signal that she has left the game, which would be unfortunate, but it does happen. The game has gone past 8 turns, and I am over, or will be over, the 270 electoral threshold. If she does forfeit all the states of hers that I am in, I would get credit for that, and so I would get the win on the leaderboard. So keep in mind, even if you are losing and you do quit, you can hit that forfeit button, not waste people's time, but that's okay. I don't hold grudges. When I first started playing the game, I was not very good and rage quit occasionally, but really until I learned from the best, kind of watching the best, I didn't really know what was going on. So again, there's Latino, oil and gas, agriculture and manufacturing, export, 5 bonuses on 1 turn. So let's go ahead, and she's only in those states, so just to try to not make sure there won't be a ballot this turn, but just to maximize the number of states I'm in, I'm going to put a couple of rungs in every single state. I would maybe try to do 1 in every state and force a ballot if I can get it to 100, but I don't want to have her try to sneak attack and then have to go back and put another one in, and it's not worth it from my standpoint because I don't have time for that. I highly doubt that she is actually here, or he, it's Elaine, but Lane is his name, but apparently quitting is his game. With my bonus, I should be able to completely do this. I do have 400 swing states. Is there anything else I can get relatively? I bet you I could do these 4 corners. Again, I'm just doing this to try to speed up the game just a little bit. Just short. So I'm going to go ahead and skip. She didn't make any moves. And there's no ballot, but this will be the last turn because 3 no turns and it's a forfeit. So just to play in Tennessee, looks like it's the only state I did not go into. Just so at the very end it'll say 538 because assuming she doesn't make another move. Just out of pride, I'm going to take Illinois and Maryland and Louisiana. And then I'll throw the rest. Oh, I didn't finish it off. How dumb of me. Why did I not do that last time? It wouldn't have mattered, I don't think, but some of my good old swing states. 55. Can I get there? No, that's okay. So yeah, this has been my first game as Ronald Reagan facing off against Nancy Pelosi. I am going to get the victory. If you like this video and you want to see more content, please subscribe and like the channel. If you have any comments of what you would like to see in future videos, whether it's a new candidate, whether it's me talking about strategy, interviewing other 270 players from the game, I am open to all suggestions. I'm working on a few videos right now about talking about the different state bonuses and efficient ways to get them, some different strategies, some common things you see from some of the top players. So stay tuned for some of that content as it will be released on the channel in the coming days. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.